How's it going, everyone? It's Liam Carlson here. It's Invincible time with episode 4 of season 3. Excited to get into this, following what was a fantastic starting point with season 3 with those first 3 episodes, especially with episode 2, which, you know, still 1 week after the first 3 episodes dropped, I still feel like episode 2 is probably one of the best episodes of Invincible's entirety. It was just absolutely edge of your seat stuff, especially with Mark and Cecil, the Guardians at a conflict at who's in the right. So yeah, but episode 3 as well, yeah, things escalated big time, especially with Oliver showing some uncomfortable traits that kind of mirror his dad. Yeah, so, and I doubt that, even with a little bit of a talking to from Debbie and Mark, I doubt that's going to stop there. So, yeah. But, of course, at the end of episode 3, we did have a little bit of a tease of potentially a returning Angstrom Levy. So, yeah. How, whether that's a different Angstrom Levy we don't know about, or somehow Angstrom survived, remains to be seen. But, yeah, I am looking forward to continuing this season. So, with that said, it's episode 4 of season 3 of Invincible. Let's go.
Oh, but that's what the internet's for.
Come on.
Hey!
I bet Robot's credit card still works.
Oh my god.
You don't have to eat it.
And you don't have to make it.
We could just
I
order
want to make
out.
dinner, Rex.
Yeah, let her cook.
Prepare
Literally.
a meal, and then eat it.
Parmesan cheese. I like cheese. How about I'm in charge of that, okay?
Cheese.
You want to be in charge of cheese.
Hell, I'll take butter too. Oh, and milk. All the cow type stuff.
You mean dairy?
Yeah, I was gonna
Whatever
say,
you want to call it. I got it covered.
that's dairy, my guy.
Or who was controlling it. I believe that was by design.
You can't tell me
Delete no
anything about it.
traces.
It's of Earth origin, and it's extremely sophisticated. That's all.
You should be careful. Sorry. Whoever made this has
Jesus Christ. Here we go once again. This is going to become a weekly adventure, isn't it?
Whatever that thing is, it's not ours.
Don't lie to me, Cecil.
If we wanted to spy on you, you'd never know it.
Exactly.
Maybe think about that the next time you decide to punch your way
They're not
into
going
the
to be.
Pentagon.
They're not going to be sloppy about this.
Forgot about our second first date.
I was
Second
busy
first
committing
date.
treason. Tell you about it.
Ah!
You know, I thought this would be weird. Not just a date, but like a date.
Proper date.
The weird end.
Invincible, you have to come with us right now. It's life and death. There's no time to explain.
Oh, so now you want his help?
You know these jokers?
They stole the Declaration of Independence when I was busy saving Rex.
Oh, what a
You remember
sentence.
Yeah, I'm not ruining our date just because...
Mark!
So they just kidnap him. Great! Just great! Drastic measures.
Where the hell...
Wow. You just have that on all the time?
I was gonna
You're
say!
already on thin ice, buddy. Where can I stash my clothes? Hey,
Oh my god!
was that me?
Something changed. We don't know what happened exactly.
He snapped
It was before
power.
our time. But slowly, he went mad. Began with new
He's
laws,
the Mad King.
mandatory work camps, prison for automatic factories churning out his royal guards, entire nations punished and forced to survive.
So
without
this is
power
what
or
happens if
technology.
Elon Musk takes over the country.
When he personally took 10 cities off the map for resisting, that's when the
Christ.
rebellion was born. No, they're the royal guard. There's millions of them. They enforce the king's madness on the people. But before you...
Whether it's Reanimen or these guys, like Mark, this season is just hell bent on destroying any kind of automatons.
Oh! Stop the king! We can take care of ourselves.
But
Please, just go!
Just let them. Just. Oh. I was going to say the robots kind of sound like Omni-Man, but I doubt it's going to be Omni-Man.
Okay, asshole. Whoever you are, it's over.
No! Immortal!
Only one man alive knows me by that name. Have left me in charge. You're the Emperor. You should have known it was too much for me.
He left those responsibilities on him.
I left you to rule?
Alright.
Act like you don't
Die?
Kate.
Viltrumites killed her.
Don't know that name. Is that the red-haired woman you...
No, not Eve. Kate. You just got engaged.
You were with, or...
In the past, I mean.
You need to repay the debt you owe me. Whether you want to or not.
So it's his fault that you decide to kill millions.
What do you want? I can't stay here, and I'm not cut out to run the planet.
That's not what I meant.
No. Kill him. End immortality.
I can't believe they thought 2 guards would be enough for us.
You have to say that shit.
Famous last words.
Age like milk all the time.
Kill me, and the power will return to the people.
This guy is
It's the only way for
spineless.
humanity to rise again. This is what I want, Mark.
Look, maybe the
I know he sounds distressed at all of that, but he killed millions. He's enslaved people and all of that. And now he is pleading his heart out for Mark to kill him.
Throw yourself into the sun or something.
Suicide is a coward's escape.
But enslaving people isn't. Pressing people isn't.
What kind of man lets others die because he won't act?
You piece of shit.
It's the only way.
Just end this piece of shit, Mark.
Enough.
Oh, snap!
It's what he wanted.
Yeah, but he...
So, that's not a reason to kill someone.
He hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
trying to go on the better
But he
path,
saved
is
a lot
Mark.
of people too.
It's been a long time coming. There's just one more thing you need to do.
What?
Yeah,
Where can I stash my clothes? Hey.
there we go. But how did this all come about the first time?
Okay. Hold on.
Bootstrap paradox and all that.
Yeah. But it sounds like he was ready to go.
It does. It just sucks
I
that he
know
puts
that
this
doesn't
blame
solve
on Mark.
this, but
That,
we will get through it.
you know, his
together.
dictatorship.
And if you
It's all
ever
on
turn
Mark.
into a giant world-conquering dick, I will kick your ass until you're back in line, okay?
Okay.
Marry her!
You promise.
This is nice. No, day before Valentine's Day as well. Wait, I was gonna say, this is ending a bit too soon, isn't it? Oh, wait,
And
wait.
so, dear
Yes!
we once again turn our attention elsewhere to give young Mark Grayson and Samantha
I
E.
was getting
Wilkins the
flashbacks to
privacy
last
they
season.
deserve. The alien has a plan.
Goodbye, my friend.
Finally.
Let's go, Alan. Let's break. Oh my god. Locked down.
But it gave him an inkling all hope was not yet lost.
I think
I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot.
my wife.
Alan's discussions with Nolan
Is that gonna incinerate those two or some shit? Yeah!
after that, his executions were put on hold.
Yeah, the executions were the executions of the guards.
Me, Mark, and whatever that other kid's name is, stop the Empire.
Come on.
No. Oh, come on!
Jesus Christ.
Then I guess we will both just die together. Crap, I thought I'd have more time.
You'd expect Alan to swoop in at that moment.
Oh, hey guys! No hard feelings, right?
Waste them.
That's right! Get it out! We can do this! Go! Go! I believe in you! Go!
Whilst he's just watching on the sidelines.
Uh-oh.
He's just... He... Oh. Oh no.
This is the courage to dare free Battle Beast.
Oh my...
Sir. This party you speak of, will there be opponents worthy of my strength?
Yes.
Viltrumites?
Absolutely, yes.
Can you take down the Viltrumites?
Viltrumites?
Oh man, yes. We definitely got them.
Oh.
How many?
Answer me!
Yes.
Hey, there's a little...
You'll never understand.
There's a little bit of hope there from Nolan saying that. Jesus Christ.
You promised me a glorious battle, yet the only worthy opponent I see here is
We don't need to battle it out between you.
Hello?
No,
Let's
no,
just,
no.
Just calm down. We're late. Oh man, you look terrible. Did you guys do this? That's not very nice.
Oh my God, Alan.
I told you to go. You should have listened. And if this conflict brings about the end of my life,
So be it.
I will savor it all the more.
He's just so thirsty for, like, it to be on expert mode. He doesn't do easy mode.
I'll kill you for that.
Come on, this is gonna awaken something in Nolan. Come on, Nolan. We got there in the end. We got there in the end.
Good to see you, man.
Go! Oh my God! Let's go!
I knew you had it in you.
This is
I
great.
hate these guys. You think Battle Beast can survive in space? Probably, right? What?
Oh no! Well, at least they escaped. Shh. Come on, Nolan. This tag team. Come on, Nolan. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Guy got absolutely fucked up.
Yes!
Oh my God, these two are just gonna be eternally fighting, aren't they?
Mommy must be around here somewhere.
For someone who almost died,
We did time together in the big house. That makes us friends now.
no Viltrumite would do such a thing for another.
No, maybe maybe
You would.
yeah. Maybe you realize that Viltrumites are toxic. Get new friends.
There are fewer than 50 pure-blooded Viltrumites left in the universe.
Oh shit!
This is the Empire's most closely guarded secret.
Damn!
It's also
I thought
why
there was
we
a
can
lot
beat
more.
them.
Is she gone?
What was that?
Nothing, Mom.
Oh my God.
God, these two.
We gotta get our own place.
Yeah. I mean, Eve could probably do that with her money as well. Like, just... I know it's all personal gain and all of that, but she can pretty much do that. Maybe build her own house, although I don't know if that's going to be safe. There's no post-credit. But... yeah, it's doable. So, we've seen it before. Man, that was great. it's very interesting as well that because I thought there was going to be a lot more than 50 pure-blooded Viltrumites. So that is a really, really great revelation to have there in terms of seeing the vulnerability there of the Viltrumites. We know this is one of them. So yeah. What was his name? The one that kind of helped out. I think it was Nolan. Was he Thaddeus or something? I think he's another. Yeah. I mean, it was very, very, very interesting to have that revelation in mind because it gives you a little bit of hope. As well as the fact that it's the speech, and I guess Nolan's another pure-blooded one as well. But I mean, we now know that I guess he's on our side, really. So yeah. So yeah. It was really, really, it was really, really great stuff. Like how we didn't waste any time. Like we didn't waste any time, like having this spread throughout the series or the season, should I say, in terms of Nolan and Alan breaking out and all of that. Because I thought that's where they were going to go, but I am glad they kind of revisited something they did in season 2 in regards to, okay, let's focus on what Alan is doing while Steve and Mark were getting it on. So just to give this a bit more padding and to see an epic fight sequence take place, really. So yeah, but awesome stuff. So yeah, a very fascinating episode. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking, how short is this episode? Like, it doesn't even feel like 40 minutes when we got to the fake out of the credits. But then, of course, we did cut to... we then cut to Alan and Nolan and all of that, so yeah, but it was just really, really great stuff. So yeah, and both stories really flourished in their own ways. But it was very fascinating as well to step into Mark's story, and I just loved the whole bit when I think they're twins, the twins and Mark, they arrive in the future, and you have future Mark getting his clothes and all of that, and I think there's some kind of bootstrap going on here in terms of like how did he get his clothes in the first place? But no, in all seriousness, that was really, really fun, as well as the fact that so you have that on all the time, don't you? So I mean, with the amount of shit that goes down, to be fair, I mean, yeah. But yeah, it was very interesting going into the whole situation where Immortal is basically Invincible's version of the Mad King, I guess you could say, given the fact that, well, he has cracked and all of that. And it's not just that, though, but he's had to wear this onus of being king of the world, basically. So Mark is no longer on Earth, and Mark entrusted Immortal, which, now he knows not to do. So, yeah. And it's very interesting because, I mean, I even said it during the reaction that there is clear distress going on for Immortal. At the same time, though, I mean, to be fair, obviously he has cracked over the course of the many years that have gone by. But at the same time, of course, you can't, like, with Mark, yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag because there is a bit of sorrow behind the pain that he has endured and all of that. At the same time, though, I mean, he has oppressed millions, he's killed millions. And he doesn't think that suicide is like in terms of proposing the idea to end his reign. He doesn't even think that's honorable. And he needs to be killed. So yeah, there is a little sprinkle of sorrow especially with how long you've had to live, and not just that though, but outliving everyone. And I'm not sure if that's going to mess up Mark or anything like that. Especially since Eve isn't exactly Viltrum, like she hasn't got any kind of Viltrumite DNA in her, but yeah, I mean, with this descent, it's like I said, a mixed bag, to be fair. Because of the fact that his brain isn't as like he has cracked. It's gone on for so long, and that loneliness as well. Yeah. So, and of course, there is this whole idea that he doesn't think that it's honorable, but I feel like I don't know how many people would like think that if you were in immortal shoes that you could just fly into the sun, or like if I start to like set up a protocol, for example, if I do start to crack, then I need to be replaced ASAP or something like that, because it's it's just very sad, but also at the same time you can't help but just despise what he has done because of the loneliness, because he is cracked, and because he is desperate. It wasn't all an act in terms of his struggles and cries to Mark to just end him. Because that's what it could have been. It could have been all an act, and his true colours could have emerged, but deep down he did want to die. But it's also a very conflicting scenario where he, oppresses, he refuses to abdicate the throne and all of that. There needs to be worth in his eyes to someone overthrowing the throne, in terms of someone challenging him. So yeah, but yeah. It's always a curse, isn't it? Immortality. So I don't know if things would have been a lot more better if he actually had someone who was also immortal. But that's why immortality is never ever a blessing when it comes. I mean, of course, there is this whole notion of death and how scary it is, especially approaching that stage of life, that final stage. But there are, like, especially when you see on TV, there are so many detriments of immortality, especially, and one of the bigger aspects is outliving everyone. So, and I feel like that would mess me up, because having to see everyone you love die, whether it's your parents, your children, your grandchildren, your loved ones, yeah, it's just a very and the fact that you're ruling this earth as well, there is a heavy onus on your head as well. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, it was really a mixed bag in terms of Immortal and his whole King of the World situation. So yeah, especially since he never wanted this, and there is a lot of damage on his mind, but at the same time, you can't help but sympathize so much for the people and how scary it is. He's oppressed and ruined so many lives, because of that kind of dictatorship that he has on the people. So, but it's also very interesting as well when you go into Immortal story and contend that with Mark and what he has to do as well. So that's why it's a very standout story, in my opinion, about this whole situation of with it Immortal. It's not exactly just end this prick or anything like that. There is pain, and there that is something the viewer can recognize. But it's also contending Mark's hesitation and pain that he doesn't want to kill people. And it was inevitable that he was going to, but it's a struggle in regards to wondering if the end does justify the means. And I feel like with Invincible peering into this morality scenario, it's just been very fascinating, especially in this scenario where you're faced with someone who's oppressed and killed, who's executed millions and all of that, but at the same time there is pain in his eyes. But it's also a good reflection, as I've mentioned, about the fact that Mark will be in Immortal's position one day, where he will lose everyone that's really, really close, like to him, including Eve. Unless Eve finds the Holy Grail or something like that, that is going to happen. And yeah, it's not just Mark and his decision on killing Immortal. That is a very, very difficult choice that he might not, want to endure and all of that. But it's also seeing the people, and obviously with it's also seeing the people that do die and all of that, and that's going to be very difficult for Mark to digest in his mind as well, especially since prior to this adventure he was on a date with Eve, and then he returns and all of that. So when he looks very, very bleak in terms of taking the clothing from past Mark, returning to Eve, when he looks very, very deflated and depressed, I don't think it's just the fact that he has to kill someone else, because obviously Angstrom was weighing on his mind, and that was a more self-defense move and all of that. Whereas with Immortal, it was euthanizing him, wasn't it? So yeah, but it's not just that's weighing on his mind; it's the fact that he's seen it's kind of like peering into the future, and it's not just going into the future itself, but his own future, where he is weighing that this could be him one day, where everyone he loves will, and what would that do to Mark potentially? Will that make him a worse person? And he's already struggling with the idea on if the ends justify the means. Does that make him a monster by having to kill people? Angstrom, that was self-defense, and yet that still has messed up Mark in a sense that because he didn't want to do it. And now we have Immortal, where again that is something that Mark didn't really want to do, and yet he was asking for it. This time it was more literal. He wanted to die. He wanted to be euthanized. So it's a very interesting scenario to combat, isn't it? So I really loved what they did with the whole Mark story, because it has so many layers. Even something as you think that what Immortal has done, oh yeah, just end him. And of course, excusing it is gonna be like, well, that doesn't really excuse shit and all of that. But at the same time, you can't help but also consider the fact that, well, it is also sad at the same time that he has, lived this long. Many people have died, and his mind has deteriorated. But of course, you also just watch this episode and think that putting this blame on Mark is not right, because he's not the one that said be a dictator and all of that. So yeah, and you'd think there would be better protocols in mind, especially to have provisions if Immortal decides to, especially since he is like centuries old. So yeah, but yeah, it was a very, very interesting side to that story. So yeah. But yeah, it was also very interesting to go into, of course, the other side of things with obviously Alan, Nolan, and Battle Beast as well. So I love there's no conclusion to Battle Beast fighting that Viltrumite. I need it to be a running joke now from here until Invincible does decide to end. Battle Beast and that Viltrumite are fighting the eternal battle. The battle that will go on till the end of time. But yeah, it was really, really great, because Nolan didn't expect Alan to, fight for him, even though that Nolan was like, let me die, I don't want to be rescued or anything like that. And it just shows how much of a heroic heart Alan does have, saving people that might not want to be saved and all of that. So, yeah, but it was also very, very eye-opening for Nolan to realize that you've been hanging around with toxic people, but I'm kidding. I mean, to be fair, they are toxic, but it is opening his perspective about how he has been led with this idea of carrying out the Viltrumite way and realizing, yeah, it is really... And he has done a lot of heinous shit, of course, but there is this hope that... I mean... Mark even said it to Oliver in the last episode that, people still fear Nolan, understandably so, and maybe one day minds might change, and there might be occasions where people might not ever forgive, which is okay, considering, how Nolan did terrorize the planet, really, and all of that. But it is all about finding a better path in terms of Nolan, and I think he is opening his mind to that perspective with Debbie, with Mark, with his son, and yeah, and maybe Nolan can, land some eye-opening perspectives for Oliver as well. Like I said, Oliver's not going to change his whole demeanor and all. He's going to continue some very questionable stuff like he did in episode 3. There's no way that he's going to be like, okay, yeah, maybe I did cross the line, especially since Debbie and Mark told me off. But that's why I think Nolan would be probably beneficial in terms of telling Oliver the how he needs to have a bit of respect when it comes to human life and all of that. So yeah, it would be a really, really good stepping stone for Nolan, I would say. So yeah. But yeah, it was really, really great. There was quite a lot of beheadings in this episode, I will say. So yeah, but it was really great, that battle sequence. I just love the cannon fodder soldiers that mainly Alan and Battle Beast were dealing with. But yeah, it was a really, really great sequence, that whole escape. And I'm glad that they did dedicate like half of the episode, like I guess the credit scenes, or the fake credit scenes, that did get me, because I'm like, can't have been 40 minutes already, right? So yeah, but I'm glad that we did have, like, especially since we're at the halfway point of season 3 now, we didn't spread it out too long in terms of Alan and Nolan's escape from... It was coming, it was just a matter of when, and I'm glad they hit it here rather than just spread it out the entire season. So yeah, but yeah, really fantastic episode. Loved it. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!